Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your crown jewel results and a just important pay-per-view. As many fans have Facebook, that being said, not much, because you got a non-fighting champion due to the results of the pay-per-view. And I have already said I will boycott Raw. And guess what? Ratings will drop. Well, first off, you got the first only match of the pre-show for Crown Jewel. Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura, for the U.S. title. We're going to ring in the King Saudi University Stadium in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Michael Cole's house with Renee Young, Corey Grace at ringside. U.S. Champion Shinsuke Nakamura is out first as Greg Hamilton does ring introductions, and Rusev follows out. The bell rings and he psychs each other up. Rusev takes control and unloads on Nakamura in the corner. As the referee warns him, Rusev with shoulder thrust in the corner. Now as the fans continue to find their seats in the stadium, Rusev with a suplex and a 2 count. Nakamura turns it around with a knee and drops Rusev with an inverted suplex. Nakamura keeps Rusev down with boots down, taking his time. Rusev catches a kick, but Nakamura nails an enziguri and a running kick to the face for a 2 count. Rusev looks to turn around, but Nakamura takes him to the mat and drives knees, keeping him grounded. Rusev fights up and out with a hold, but Nakamura keeps him locked in. Rusev starts fading now. Rusev finally powers up and launches Nakamura on his face across the ring. Rusev unloads with strikes on his feet now, but Nakamura cuts him off. Rusev drops Nakamura with 3 clotheslines and he yells out for a pop. Rusev nails a splash in the corner and also a spinning heel kick to the jaw. Nakamura avoids a monster kick and they trade shots and counters. Rusev drops Nakamura with a kick to the head for a close 2 count. More back and forth action as Rusev catches a kick, but Nakamura drops him with a kick to the side of the head. And Nakamura with a sliding knee for another close 2 count. Nakamura charges for the Kinshasa, but Rusev grabs him, places him on the top turnbuckle. Nakamura leaps from the middle rope, and Rusev kicks him out of the air with a big kick to the face. Nakamura still kicks out at 2. Rusev yells out and stomps Nakamura's back, but Nakamura scrambles to the ropes to avoid the accolade. Nakamura then decks Rusev from the apron and kicks him in the back of the neck. Nakamura flies back in the ring and drops Rusev with a knee for a 2 count. Nakamura then charges with a Kinshasa, but Rusev moves and turns that into an accolade in the middle of the ring. But as Rusev tightens the hold as the referee checks on Nakamura, Nakamura drags them to the ropes, but Rusev drags him back. Nakamura takes advantage and hits a low blow head, but of course the referee didn't see it. It looks like an accident, but he's smiling. Nakamura nails the Kinshasa for the win. What a distraction. Well, I never could get the feed to come up since my computer was so slow as molasses. None of the feeds were they were actually buffering and only showing a picture whenever I hit refresh. Only a picture would come up and the next match was on. So most of this is going to be until the last hour by the internet results posted. Well, after the match, Nakamura stands and raises the title as his music hits. Nakamura marches to the back and we go to replays. Rusev recovers as Michael Cole sends us back to WWE headquarters with Coach Booker and Otunga. The panel talks more about the World Cup tournament. We get a video package of The Miz and Jeff Hardy. Booker believes Lashley can win the tournament. We get videos for Dolph Ziggler and Hall of Famer Kurt Angle next. Otunga wonders if Drew McIntyre will help Ziggler get the win. The panel talks about how SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon will fire the SmackDown superstar that loses to a Raw superstar in the finals if they lose. Coach predicts Angle will to win the tournament. Otunga goes with Mysterio, and Booker predicts Lashley to win it all. Back from a break, and Coach leads us to a video package for DX versus Brothers of Destruction. The panel briefly talks about the match, and that's it for the kickoff show. First ever Crown Jewel event from Saudi Arabia opens up with a video package. We're live from a sold-out King Saudi University Stadium in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. As Michael Coleslaw welcomes us to the Crown Jewel, Coleslaw is joined in at ringside by Renee Young and Corey Graves. We go to the ring and we get Greg Hamilton introducing the host for tonight. Brother! Yes, that's none other than the Hulkster himself, brother. The Hulkster comes out with his red and yellow boa, feather boa. Hogan hits the ring with as fireworks go off around the outside to the stadium. Hogan hypes the crowd up and talks about how he flew over to Saudi Arabia and found that the power of Hulkamaniacs is just as strong as ever. Right here at Crown Jewel, Hogan says it's good to see everyone, and he's happy to be back in WWE. Hogan says the show starts right now. So what you gonna do with the power of Hulkamania and Crown Jewel? Runs wild on you, brother. Hogan's music starts back up as he plays to the crowd with his signature poses. And we get more fireworks from the outside of the stadium. Hamilton introduces His Excellency, Mr. Turkey Al-Sheikh of the Sports Federation of Islamic Solidarity at ringside. In his seat, the announcers hype tonight's show. World Cup first round match, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Then we see the World Cup trophy at ringside as we get ready for the first tournament match. Hamilton gives a grand introduction for Rey Mysterio, and out he comes as the pyro goes off. We get a sidebar video from Mysterio who says this tournament is one of the reasons he came back to WWE. Hamilton gives an introduction to Randy Orton. Out he comes. They also get a sidebar video of Orton on his way to the ring. Orton says he's always been the best and will prove it tonight. Back and forth start. Ray tries to springboard in, but Orton drop kicks him in midair. Orton smiles and covers for a 2 count. Orton focuses on Ray's ribs and stops away as Ray looks to turn it around, but Orton keeps control and goes to take off the mask. Orton takes Ray to the top, but Ray ends up taking him down with a crossbody. 619 chants from the crowd, Saudi Arabia style. Ray comes back with offense for a 2 count. Ray with kicks. Orton blocks the 619 and nails the second rope draping DDT. Already got his signature move in. Orton with more offense until Ray blocks the RKO. Ray counters and rolls Orton up out of nowhere for the surprise pinfall to advance in the tournament. And I saw the still picture of Ray standing tall to advance as Orton was down on the ground. The winner of the match, Rey Mysterio. After the match, Orton immediately drops Ray with the RKO as his meter starts back up. Orton launches Ray under the bottom rope, sending him out to the floor. Orton follows and slams Ray face first into the announce table. A referee helps Ray limp off as Hamilton announces him as the winner. Byron Saxton is backstage with The Miz, who says he will walk his way through the tournament because he's awesome. World Cup first round match, Jeff Hardy versus Miz. Well, whenever I got my refresh, this one was having Jeff Hardy standing with Miz on the ground, and Jeff Hardy's arm was in the air. So I was guessing Jeff Hardy won, but here's the results. Back to the ring, we get the first out comes Jeff Hardy. We get a sidebar video from Hardy with comments on his demons and becoming the best in the world. Hamilton does the introduction for The Miz. Next, and out he comes. Back and forth start. The Arabic announce team is at ringside and were introduced earlier. Hardy slams Miz's face into turnbuckles and chants delete after turning it around. Miz drops Hardy back with a kick to the face. Miz drives a knee to the spine and keeps Hardy down. Miz with an inverted DDT. Yeah, the reporter typo says kept Bray down. Miz keeps control and takes Hardy to the corner. Miz with a corner drop kick, and Hardy turns it around, hits some of his signature moves for a close 2 count. Miz blocked the twist of fate, but Hardy elbowed him. Hardy nailed the whisper in the wind and got a close 2 count. More back and forth between the two as Miz goes for the figure 4, but Hardy rolled him up for a 2 count. Hardy then tossed Miz through the ropes out to the floor. Then Hardy drop kicked Miz out on the floor and follows out. Hardy walked the barrier and clothesline Miz on the floor. Hardy then brought it back in the ring, goes to the top, but Miz rolls out all the way. Hardy steps down to the mat, and Miz suckers him in for a roll-up. Miz uses rope for an advantage, but the referee sees him. Hardy rolls Miz up for a 2 count. Miz blocks a twist of fate and hits Skull Crusher penalty to advance to the next round. After the match, Miz stands tall and raises his arm as we go to replays. Miz heads up the ramp and stops to look back at Hardy, who is still down on the mat. Miz vs. Mysterio is confirmed for later. World Cup first round match. Seth Rollins vs. Bobby Lashley. Back from the break, Hamilton does the introductions for WWE Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, who also currently holds Raw Tag Team Champions with former partner Dean Ambrose. Out next comes Bobby Lashley, as they have not announced the tag team split up for the breakup of the tag team as champions. And Lashley is out with Lio Rush. Rush takes the mic and starts hyping Lashley as they head to the ring. I can imagine. Lashley, Lashley, Lashley. Taking some easy shots at the people in the crowd. The bell rings and Lashley overpowers first, staring Rollins down. They lock up and go at it, trading shots. Lashley with a knee to the gut to slow Rollins down. Rollins quick drop kicks Lashley through the ropes to the floor. Rollins runs the ropes, but Lashley runs back in and chokeslams him to the mat. Lashley with more offense and another 2 count. Lashley keeps Rollins grounded in the middle of the ring. Lashley with more power moves, keeping Rollins in control. Lashley brings Rollins out of the corner and keeps him grounded again. Rollins starts to make a comeback, but Lashley drops him with an inverted DDT. Lashley lifts Rollins high for the vertical suplex and holds him in the air. Rollins fights out with a knee to the head. Rollins sends Lashley out of the ring. Rush is being quiet on the mic so far now. Rollins runs the ropes and nails the suicide dive, sending Lashley into the barrier, but he's still standing. Rollins runs the ropes again and nails another dive that brings Lashley down. Rollins goes to the top, but Lashley climbs up and cuts him off. Lashley goes for a superplex, but Rollins resists. Rollins goes for a sunset flip, powerbomb, but Lashley blocks it. Rollins goes for the buckle bomb, but Lashley lands on his feet and decks Rollins in the spine. Lashley with a gut wrench, but Rollins gets out. Rollins leapfrogs and rolls Lashley up, but turns that into a stomp for the pin. I don't know where to advance. Heck, why not have a dream match? How about the Hulkster coming out with Jimmy Mouse of the South with his megaphone versus Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush with his microphone. Just saying. Alright, after the match, Rollins recovers as his music hits. We go to replays. Rollins stands tall with the Intercontinental title. Byron Saxton is backstage with WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, who says he will prove he's still the best in the world tonight. It's true. It's damn true, so he says. And World Cup first round match, Kurt Angle versus Dolph Ziggler to round out your first round. Finish out your first round. We're going to ring for the final first round World Cup match as Hamilton does introductions for Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Angle comes out as red, white, and blue fireworks go off around the stadium. Out next comes Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre. We get a sidebar video of Ziggler and McIntyre backstage earlier in the day. Ziggler says the cup is coming home with the true best in the world. The bell rings and they lock up. They tangle and trade holds. Angle slams Ziggler first. Ziggler looks to mount some offense, but Angle hits the belly-to-belly suplex. Angle with 2 German suplexes. Ziggler is on the apron now as McIntyre gives him a few words of support. Angle looks to German Ziggler off the apron, but Ziggler hangs on to the ropes. Angle gets knocked off the apron to the floor. Ziggler whips Angle into the steel ring steps. Ziggler brings it back into the ring with offense. Ziggler makes nails a neck breaker for a 2 count. Ziggler keeps Angle grounded on the mat with the body scissors and sleeper. Angle fights up and out, slamming Ziggler back into the turnbuckles. Angle with a German suplex again. He doesn't release it and hits 2 more for a close 2 count. Ziggler blocks the Angle slam and nails a DDT for a close 2 count. More back and forth with counters. Ziggler misses the famouser, and Angle hits the Angle slam for a close 2 count. They nervous back. McIntyre pops on the apron. Nothing more than that. And Angle drops the straps as the crowd pops. Angle goes for ankle lock. But Ziggler kicks him away. Ziggler with a famouser for a close 2 count. Angle blocks another famouser. And they go back and forth. Again, Angle catches Ziggler in an ankle lock in the middle of the ring. Ziggler screams out, but Angle keeps it locked in. And Ziggler goes for the rope, but Angle drags him back. Ziggler rolls, but Angle turns the hold right back over as McIntyre looks on. Ziggler finally breaks the hold. Angle charges, but hits the ring post shoulder first as Ziggler moves out of the way. Ziggler nails a zigzag for the win to advance. After the match, McIntyre enters the ring and checks on Ziggler. As the music starts, Ziggler stands tall as we go to replays. Ziggler and McIntyre head to the back together as we get a look at the updated brackets. Ziggler and Rollins and McIntyre versus Miz are confirmed. Tag titles match is next. And tag titles are up next. We got the New Day versus the Bar. I think back for the Ray out comes the New Day. Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. They're riding a huge magic carpet to the ring. Out next are SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. As the pyro goes off, then Big Show was announced. Next, as Show Bar heads to the ring together. Big E and Kofi are representing the New Day in this match. Sheamus starts off with Big E. Big E overpowers early on, takes control. Sheamus turns it around, but Big E clotheslines him after hip toss attempts. Big E with a 2 count. Kofi tags in and leaps off the top, nailing Sheamus and Big E as Big E held him. There's a double teaming, and Sheamus takes it near the corner, and in comes Cesaro to take control of Kofi. Cesaro catapults Kofi out of the corner, but Kofi lands on his feet. As Xavier taunts the Bar with Francesca at ringside. Cesaro runs into a drop kick for a 2 count. More back and forth as Sheamus comes back in. Big Show talks trash from ringside. Referee is distracted, allowing Show to get cheap shots on Kofi. Cesaro keeps Kofi grounded. Sheamus comes in for some more double teaming on Kofi for a close 2 count. Sheamus with a forearm to the chest while keeping Kofi grounded. Kofi fights back with strikes to the chest. Sheamus stops the tag and drops him. Cesaro tags back in and covers for a 2 count. Cesaro uses the middle rope on Kofi now as the referee warns him. Cesaro with a big gut wrench slam for another close 2 count. Cesaro keeps Kofi grounded again. As Big E reaches for a tag, we see the match playing on the massive screen above the ring. Titantron. Big E tries to rally the crowd for Kofi. Kofi looks to fight up and out, but Cesaro also reaches for a tag. Cesaro stops the tag and swings for Big E, but misses. Cesaro turns around to a back body drop from Kofi, and both are down now and look for tags. Sheamus tags in and knocks Big E off the apron, so there's no tag for Big E. Sheamus rams Kofi into the corner now and places him on the top as Cesaro tags back in. Cesaro with a big uppercut. The Bar hits the double team jackhammer. Variation on Kofi for a close 2 count. Cesaro talks trash over Kofi as Big Show taunts him, telling him to give up. Cesaro runs into a boot in the corner now. Kofi nails Sheamus. Kofi unloads, but Sheamus tags in for more double teaming, but it backfires as Sheamus hits the post. Big E and Cesaro tag in. Big E with belly-to-belly suplexes. More back and forth with Big E getting in the most offense. Sheamus comes in and mounted Big E in the corner with big right hands. Kofi tags in, and Sheamus is on Big E's shoulders. Kofi leaps off the top with a double stomp to the back. Kofi with a 2 count on Sheamus as Cesaro breaks the pin. Kofi drops Cesaro with trouble in paradise and sends him out to the floor. Big E tags in and launches Kofi out of the ring to take Cesaro back down on the floor. Big E drops his straps and waits to hit the big ending on Sheamus, but Big Show detracts from the apron. Big E sidesteps the bro kick and covers Sheamus for a 2 count. Big E looks for the big ending, but Show drops him with a knockout. The disaster punch. Weapons of mass destruction. Punch while the referee is distracted. After going to avoid a splash in the corner from Big E, and Sheamus follows up with a bro kick for the pin. Winners and still tag team champions, The Bar. After the match, Show Bar stands tall in the ring as we get replays. Big Show and the Bar head up the ramp as Duguay recovers. Saxon's backstage with The Miz. His voice is scratchy due to a mule kick from Hardy earlier. He talks about beating Hardy and says he will now feast on Rey Mysterio, then become the best in the world. World Cup semifinal match, The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. We go to the ring, out comes The Miz for his first semifinal World Cup match tonight. We go backstage to Saxon and Rey Mysterio. He knocks Miz for making excuses and says people underestimating him just makes his win sweeter. We go back to the ring and Rey makes his entrance. The bell rings and Miz charges with a kick but misses. Rey responds with a kick to the leg. The tangle of Miz ducks a kick but rolls Rey up for a quick pin attempt. More back and forth and counters Rey with a stiff kick to the face. They end up on the floor. Rey runs back in to kick Miz in the face again, sending him out. Rey runs the ropes and slides under the bottom rope, splashing Miz on the floor. Rey holds his hand after landing on it during the splash. Rey brings Miz back into the ring and rocks him into the corner. Rey mounts Miz with rights in the corner. Now his fans count along. Miz runs into boots in the corner. Miz counters a move and slams Rey face first into the mat. Miz keeps control with thrust in the corner. Miz with a running kick to the face for a close 2 count. Then a modified surfboard submission. Rey turns that into a 2 count, but Miz shuts him right back down and the referee checks on him. Miz with a body scissors. Rey fights out, but Miz launches him to the floor by throwing him under the bottom rope. Miz sends Rey into the apron and brings him back into the ring. Miz with an abdominal stretch now. Rey tries to fight out of the stretch, but Miz goes for the pump handle slam. Rey counters that with a big DDT. They're both slow to get up. They trade shots in the middle of the ring now. Rey gets the upper hand and nails the springboard crossbody for a 2 count. Rey with a kick to the chest. Rey hits the ropes with Miz's arm and sends him flying again. Rey ends up sending Miz into the turnbuckles with the same move. Rey comes in from the apron and sends Miz into the ropes for the 619. Miz blocks it. Slams Rey face first into the top turnbuckle. Miz was a skull crushing finale for a close 2 count. Miz keeps control and hits the it kicks while Rey is on his knees. Rey ducks a kick and rolls Miz up for another 2 count. Rey drops Miz into the ropes again and hits the 619. Rey moves slow but gets to the top rope. Rey goes for the splash, but Miz gets the knees up and then rolls Rey up for the pinfall to advance to the finals. After the match, Miz heads to the floor to celebrate. We go to replays. Miz will face Rollins or Ziggler in the finals. Miz heads up the ramp, stops to look back, smiling at Rey as he stands at ringside. Byron Saxon backstage with Seth Rollins. He asks him a question and Rollins says he does his best work when the odds are stacked against him and when his back is against the wall. Next we get Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. Semi-final World Cup. We go to ring, out comes Intercontinental Champion and Raw Tag Team Champion Seth Rollins. Out next comes Ziggler with Drew McIntyre again. They size each other up. They go back and forth with holds to start. Rollins goes to hurt the ankle early on. They break and go for a test of strength, but Ziggler kicks Rollins. Ziggler takes Rollins to the mat with a headlock. They break and run the ropes. Rollins leapfrogs and catches a crossbody. Rollins slams Ziggler to the mat and clotheslines him over the top rope to the floor. Rollins follows to the floor and chops Ziggler. Rollins sends Ziggler into the barrier as the referee counts. Rollins with another big chop. Rollins brings it back into the ring, but McIntyre gets in his way. They have words. Rollins dares Drew to hit him to get disqualified. Rollins head back into the ring, but Ziggler spikes him with a big DDT on the hurt neck for a close 2 count. Ziggler rakes Rollins' eyes and forehead over the top rope as the referee warns him. Rollins counters and looks to fight back, but Ziggler kicks the knee out. Ziggler with a neck breaker for a 2 count. Ziggler keeps Rollins grounded and continues to focus on the neck. Back and forth now. Ziggler gets the upper hand again and drops Rollins face first. Ziggler with a 2 count. Ziggler mocks Rollins while he's down. Ziggler goes down but kicks Rollins into the turnbuckles. Ziggler nails a neck breaker for another pin attempt. Ziggler shows frustration. Fan chant for Rollins as he tries to fight free. Rollins counters and rolls Ziggler up for a 2 count. Ziggler jumps for a DDT, but Rollins catches him. They trade counters and pin attempts. They trade several more pin attempts. Rollins catches a super kick and hits the ripcord knee. Rollins falls on Ziggler for a close 2 count. A worried Drew McIntyre looks on. Rollins cranks up for the stomp, but has to knock Drew off the apron. Dolph takes advantage, but Rollins dumps him over the top to the floor. Rollins runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive on Ziggler. And Drew, right as Drew was telling Ziggler to get it together, Rollins brings Ziggler in and springboards, but has to roll through. Ziggler with a famouser for a 2 count. Ziggler goes to the top, but Rollins runs up and nails the superplex. Rollins holds it for the Falcon Arrow, but Ziggler counters that with a zigzag for another 2 count. Rollins blocks another zigzag and drops Ziggler with a super kick. Rollins with a suicide dive to send Drew into the barrier. Ziggler runs up to the top, but Rollins pushes him to the mat. Ziggler sells an ankle injury to distract the referee, allowing McIntyre to push Rollins from the top. Ziggler takes advantage and nails the super kick to get the win. Winner of the match will advance to the finals, Dolph Ziggler. So we got the finals, Miz versus Ziggler. After the match, McIntyre hits the ring to help Ziggler up as the music hits. Ziggler versus Miz is now official for the finals. Ziggler and McIntyre stand tall over Rollins as we go to replays. Ziggler and McIntyre head up the ramp and Saxon stops him. Saxon says it doesn't seem fair Ziggler won that way and says some people would see this as an upset win. Ziggler goes on about how he's been saying this for 13 years, but no one believed him or gave a damn about him. Ziggler says the next time we see him in the ring, he will be holding his trophy because he is the best in the world. Ziggler and McIntyre head to the back as the music starts back up and some fans boo. We get a promo for WrestleMania 35 tickets that goes on sale later this week, on Monday. That's coleslaw and Hype's travel package and going on sale on Monday. Coleslaw leads us to a video package for tonight's baby title match. And Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. This match was up. And I still haven't got my feed come up. I didn't get my... I gave up on the pay-per-view at that time. And my computer started getting even slower. So I eventually rebooted it later on. As you'll find out when. I'll let you know. We go to ring out first comes Samoa Joe. AJ Styles out next to a pop. Get former ring introduction for Greg Hamilton. The bell rings. AJ unloads. Backing Joe in the corner with strikes. How many times have we seen this match? Joe tries to turn it around, but AJ goes for the hurt knee. AJ focuses on the knee again and takes Joe down face first. AJ with kick to the knee. Into the corner now. AJ with shoulder thrust in the corner. They go to the floor. AJ ends up hitting a moonsault from the apron. Then sending Joe into the steel ring post. Joe finally gets a break and sends AJ into the barrier. As AJ went to break the count, Joe keeps control and knocks AJ back off the apron with a knee. Joe runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive, sending AJ into the announce table. AJ's elbow and ribs hit the table hard, and the referee checks on him now. Joe brings it back in the ring, covers for a 2 count. Joe keeps AJ grounded, now in the middle of the ring. AJ looks to fight back, but Joe drops him, covers him for a 2 count. Joe talks trash while keeping AJ down. Joe mocks and taunts the fans and AJ, then shuts down another comeback attempt with a big chop. They get up and both trade several strikes. AJ finally gets an opening and drops Joe, but he's slow to recover. AJ with chops again. Joe fights back, and they trade shots in the middle of the ring again as fans chant for AJ. Joe blocks the Styles Clash and sends AJ into the corner. AJ brings up off the second rope and levels Joe for a close 2 count. Fans chant for AJ again, but Joe rolls to the floor for a breather. AJ launches himself out with a forearm, almost like the phenomenal forearm, as AJ brings it back into the ring and goes for a phenomenal slam, but Joe catches him and nails a power slam for a close 2 count. AJ charges at Joe, but Joe turns him inside out with a huge lariat. Joe with another pin attempt. They're both down in the middle of the ring. AJ goes for the calf crusher out of the corner. Joe resists and gets to the bottom rope to break the submission. They tangle and Joe gets a coquina clutch locked in. AJ grabs the bad leg and bends it back while in the coquina clutch. Joe gets the rope to break up the submission, and AJ turns him into, and Joe fights off another calf crusher attempt, but AJ drops him with a Pele kick. More back and forth as AJ nails a phenomenal forearm out of nowhere to pin and retain. Looks like they had to hurry up and finish before the pay-per-view would go off the air, because you still had a couple more matches left in the show. After the match, AJ stands tall and raises the title as the music hits. We go to replays. AJ poses in the corner with the title as the crowd cheers him. No more beatdown from Samoa Joe after the match. The vacant Universal title match was up next. The most boringest, stupidest match ever in wrestling history. Of course, you got the same thing that happened with Brock Lesnar and John Cena months ago. And this is the same thing will happen. Back from the break, out comes acting Raw General Manager Baron Corbin to the ringside area. And this is where I catch it. As they were doing replays, at this point, I can tell you from that, I'll just go straight to it. Before the match is even started, Baron Corbin strikes him with the championship belt, knocking Braun Strowman down. He gets back up. Baron constipated Corbin asks for the bell to ring, and you get the first F5. A second F5 goes out. He takes a third F5, throws him outside the ring. Apparently, and after the first 2 F5s, of course, Braun kicks out. And the third one, and he still kicks out. Lesnar then lifts Strowman again, tosses him over the top rope to the outside. Strowman lands hard as the referee counts as Heyman yells at his client. I guess, like the video game, finish him! Strowman makes it back in the ring, and Lesnar doesn't look happy. Heyman screams and pounds the mat as Lesnar stalks Braun. Lesnar then screws Braun up for another F5, but Braun slides out. Strowman hits a boot to the face. Strowman charges him, but Lesnar scoops him for the 5th F5 and covers for the pin and win. Squash match. It only lasted about a minute. After the match, Lesnar takes the title and raises it as the music hits. We go to replays. Lesnar stands tall with the title as fireworks goes off. And the main reason I ain't watching Raw for quite a while. And by the way, Cowboys game is on Monday night. Cowboys and Redskins. And that's a NFC East battle. Heyman and Lesnar all smiles as they head up the ramp. We see Strowman down on the outside. World Cup Finals, Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, supposedly. Back in the break, it's time for the World Cup Finals. SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon is introduced. Acting Raw General Manager Baron Corbin is at ringside. Also to watch the match. Miz is out first. We see highlights from the other tournament matches from earlier in the evening. Dolph Ziggler was out first with Drew McIntyre. Former ring introduction from Hamilton. Referee ejects McIntyre even before the bell rings. Sending it back to the back. Ziggler and McIntyre argue with the referee. As Drew leaves, Miz takes advantage and attacks Ziggler before the bell. The referee tries to restore order, but Miz attacks again. They both end up on the outside. Miz clutches his ankle. Miz sends Ziggler into the steps. It looks like Miz might be selling an injury. Referee checks to get them in the ring. Miz brings Ziggler in, But they're both struggling. Miz says he's fine, but the referee wants him to prove that he can get back in the ring. He cannot stand on both of his feet. He falls back down. Referee calls Shane over and says Miz is not ready to go. And he says if he didn't get in, it's a forfeit. Referee calls for the other officials to check him on him, telling Shane he can't let Miz compete. Miz says he's never been injured before. Referee tells Hamilton that Miz can't compete and must forfeit. Shane says it's not going down like that. He interrupts Hamilton's announcement. Shane says he's going to take the Miz's place, and the match is made and it's official. World Cup Finals for the best in the world. Of course, Shane McMahon is a fresh man versus Dolph Ziggler. And it ends up to be a squash match after that. But Corbin throws a fit as Shane enters the ring to get ready to go at it. And he's wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt for this match. Ziggler isn't happy either. We see two referees helping the Miz to the back. The bell rings and Shane unloads in the corner. Shane with a big elbow. Corbin gets involved and argues with the referee again. Referee ejects Corbin to the back. Ziggler takes advantage and hits a zigzag to Shane from behind, but Shane kicks out at two. Ziggler goes to work on Shane. Fan chant, this is awesome now. Ziggler rakes at Shane's face. Shane fights back from his knees now, wearing jeans, sneakers, and a tank top. T-shirt, tank top. Shane counters and hits a DDT. Shane catapults Ziggler into the top turnbuckle. Shane goes to the top and hits a big coasting host in the corner and pins Ziggler for your World Cup Championship. He goes over and takes the World Cup Championship. So let's celebrate. He poses in the corner. Shane yells out, "Yeah, oh my God," before running around the ring to celebrate. We'll go to replays. Shane runs around the ringside, giving high fives to the crowd. Celebrate as the referee hands him the World Cup trophy. Shane brings it into the ring and raises it in the corner. Shane poses with the trophy as fireworks go off around the stadium. And your main event. Of course, the announcers lead us to a video package of the happenings from the final match of the night. Brothers of Destruction versus DX. DX was advertised first. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. It's time for the Heartbreak Kid to come out of retirement. DX music hits and out comes a bald Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels. Pyro hits next as Kane makes his way out first for the Brothers of Destruction. Bell tolls as the Undertaker makes his grand entrance. Triple H and Taker stare each other down as DX returns to the ring. The two teams face off as they're ready to go. The fan chant, "This is awesome," before the bell. Triple H starts off with Kane. Triple H points at Taker and taunts him before locking up with Kane. Triple H and Kane meet in the middle of the ring. Triple H talks some trash and rocks Kane out of nowhere, but it does nothing to him. Kane tosses Triple H into the corner. Triple H counters and goes to deliver a crotch chop, but Kane levels him with a big right hand. Kane with a big clothesline in the corner to drop him again. Triple H controls Kane by the arm and points to Shawn for a pop, asking the crowd if they want him to come in. Shawn does tag in for the first time since retiring and comes off the top rope to work on the arm. Shawn starts off with chops, then a neck breaker. Shawn is happy, but Kane sits right up, which changes the mood. They go at it. Shawn goes for the sunset flip, but Kane stops it and lifts Shawn up. Shawn slides out and looks to go for the sweet chin music, but the brakes puts the brakes on instead. Shawn and Kane stare at each other as the crowd pops. Fans go wild as Taker extends his hand to tag Kane. Taker steps through the ropes and stares Shawn down. This is the first time that they have gone at it since Taker retired Shawn. Taker cuts his own throat and taunts Shawn. Shawn responds with a crotch chop, the DX style. Taker misses a shot as they go at it. Taker drops Shawn with a big boot. Taker works on the arm and shoulder. Taker goes for the old school, but Triple H gets involved. Kane runs in and decks Triple H. All four superstars in the ring. Oh, they think it's a Texas tag. Texas double team in the match. what do you call it? Both guys in the ring same time. Shawn gets stuck upside down in a tree of woe in the corner. Triple H gets whipped in the corner and he lands on the floor. Taker grabs Shawn and drops him again. Taker tosses Shawn over the top rope and he lands out next to Triple H. Triple H helps Shawn up, but he's stumbling around. They regroup and run back in at the same time, but Kane and Taker grab them. DX fights back and clears the ring. Kane and Taker land on their feet outside. DX follows, but Kane and Taker take them out again on the floor, slamming their heads into the barrier. Taker rocks Michaels against the barrier. Taker brings Shawn back in the ring and goes back to work on the arm. Taker goes for old school and hits it this time. Taker keeps control, but gets hung on the top rope when charging with a big boot. Triple H tags in and unloads on Taker with chops. Taker takes a boot and goes to stare back at Triple H before dropping him. Fan chant for Taker now as Kane gets the tag. Taker stomps on Triple H in the corner before leaving. Kane with an elbow to the face in the corner. Kane scoops Triple H and slams him in the middle of the ring. Kane looks to drop an elbow, but Triple H rolls out of the way. The trade strikes in the middle of the ring. Triple H kicks Kane in the gut and drops him with a DDT. They're both down. Shawn reaches for a tag, as does Taker. Shawn tags in and unloads on Kane. They go at it and both go down. Shawn gets up. Kane sits up. They go at it again and Taker gets knocked off the apron. Fan chant, you still got it. And Shawn works Kane over. Triple H comes in as DX hits a double suplex on Kane. Shawn goes to the top and hits the big flying elbow to Kane. Shawn cranks at the band as the crowd counts with him. Kane catches sweet chin music and delivers a choke slam in the middle of the ring. Taker tags in and rocks Shawn with a right hand into the corner. Taker with more punches and a headbutt in the corner. Taker keeps control, hits the snake eyes, and then the big boot. Taker with a big leg drop for his close 2 count on Shawn. Shawn drops Taker with a sweet chin music out of nowhere, but he's too drained to crawl to make the pin. Taker sits back up. Taker tosses Shawn through the rope to the floor and follows to take. And Taker takes apart the announcer's table. Taker grabs Shawn and rolls him on top of the Arabic announce table. Taker scoots Shawn, but Triple H pulls Shawn to safety from behind. Kane comes over, but Triple H whips him into the steel steps. Taker whips Triple H towards the barrier, but Triple H counters and Taker hits the barrier. DX looks to be on top again, but Kane chokeslams Triple H through the main announce table. Fan chant, this is awesome again, as Taker rocks Shawn, places him on the apron. Taker goes to the apron and leg drops Shawn on the edge. Taker crawls over to Triple H, who is still down on the table debris, and stares at him in the face. Taker brings Shawn back into the ring and covers for a 2 count. Taker immediately covered for a 2 count. Taker manhandles Shawn a bit and dragged him over to their corner. Kane tagged in, but they both put the boots to Shawn while he's down. Kane whips Shawn hard into the corner and delivers a shoulder thrust. As Triple H is still on the floor in the debris. Kane with a boot to the face and more offense on Shawn. Kane drops an elbow for a 2 count. Taker tags back in and delivers a suplex for another 2 count. Taker keeps Shawn down for another pin attempt. Taker pounds on Shawn while they're on the mat now. Taker drives knees into Shawn. A doctor is checking on Triple H at ringside. Apparently, he's injured, but does finish the match. Kane comes back in for the double teaming for a 2 count. As they continue to dominate Shawn, Shawn finally fights back, but Kane nails a sidewalk slam for a 2 count. Kane goes to the top, but Shawn knocks him off. All 4 superstars are down. Taker gets up, scoops Shawn on the floor to ram him into the ring post, but Shawn slides out and sends Taker into the steps. They both go down. Shawn comes back in, but Kane rams him into the corner. Kane places Shawn on the top turnbuckle and rocks him with a right hand. Shawn fights back and knocks Kane to the mat. Kane's mask comes off. Shawn rests on the top turnbuckle. Shawn climbs up and nails his moonsault out to the floor, taking Kane and Taker down on the floor. Shawn smiles. All 4 superstars are down on the outside again. Triple H has managed to crawl up to the apron finally. Triple H gets the hot tag and unloads on Kane. Triple H with a knee and a spine buster to Taker. Taker sits back up. Triple H goes for the pedigree, but Taker backdrops him. Triple H blocks the choke slam. Triple H blocks the tombstone pile driver, hits the pedigree to Taker. Kane comes over, but he gets knocked out to the floor. Taker pulls Triple H into Hell's Gate submission in the middle of the ring. Triple H starts to fade. Shawn comes in, blocking a choke slam from Kane, and he also comes in. Shawn drops Kane with street chin music, which causes Kane to fall on Taker to break up the Hell's Gate. All four are down in the ring again. Heck, I was figuring, well, that's the breakup of Brothers of Destruction. Kane and Taker both sit straight up at the same time. DX gets up, turns around to Brothers of Destruction, scooping them for a double tombstone. Shawn rakes Kane's eyes, causing Kane to drop Triple H. Shawn nails Taker, and he gets dropped again. Shawn ends up hitting sweet chin music to Kane, sending him into the pedigree from Triple H. Triple H covers Kane for the pin and win. After the match, Shawn sits up in the corner on the mat, and we see some blood coming from his nose as he was busted open with a nosebleed. Triple H rushes over and hugs him as DX music starts. We go to replays. DX continues the celebration as the fireworks go off around the King Saudi University Stadium in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Michael Cole thanks everyone for tuning in to Crown Jewel, and the feed goes off at that point. They just stopped the feed, and that was it. So that concludes my results for Crown Jewel. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on video. If you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters. Ooh, yeah!